Good afternoon again, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of our round one coverage of the Brainstrust Cup. We're back here, still as windy as ever up here at Cluny, but we are now on 18 and we're just watching the groups start to come in. As we see the shot there from Ian Oliver, second on 18, and he has gone beyond the pin and off to the left-hand side. So this group here, we have Gavin Howe, Ian Oliver and Jay Bethell. And we have three groups in, finished their 18 holes and complete. And I can give you an update on where we are in the leaderboard. So current standings, Scotland have won 3 out of 3, so are currently on 9 points. England on 5 and Wales on 4. So Scotland taking an early lead. Will we see that being maintained as we go through the remainder of round one? So we see the approach shot there from Gavin Howe. Excellent shot there, just started the ball off to the left. Excellent weight, and the ball is just fed in towards the pin and left himself a nice 8-foot putt there for birdie. So very tough putt there for Ian. Downhill, the camber was running right to left and then I think left to right. So very difficult to get weight right and negotiate both of those cambers in the one shot. So he's tapped in for par. Now we have Jay Bethell for Wales. Third shot for birdie. Excellent putt. He walks the ball in. Very confident. Gives his thumbs up to the camera. Always like to see that. Confident putt. Knew it was in before it dropped. So Gavin Howe, birdie putt, finishes the round on a birdie. Very nice.
Right, let's go. Yeah. 9 under for me. You got a 4 there, Ian? 4, sorry. Plus 1 for Ian and plus 3 for Jay.
No, I mean, that was a 3 on this.
Yeah. So you're at 43.
Right, brilliant. Cheers, Gav. 1. So Scotland won all 3 so far. So that's 4 now. Yep. So Gavin Howe just giving us an update there on how that group finished. So Gavin finished on minus 9, I think, and won the group. So he takes another 3 points here for Scotland. Ian Oliver in second place, taking 2 for England and 1 point for Wales. So that takes the scores to Scotland 12, England 7 and Wales 5. So Scotland extending their lead slightly. Sean McGowan, I hope the sound is okay and you managed to catch that. If you didn't, Scotland currently on 12, England 7 and Wales on 5 at the moment. 4 groups in, still got 17 to go. So we'll just stay here on 18 for a bit what we've got is for those of you that have played Cluny before, tees are in the normal position. The flag, however, has come over to the left-hand side as we look out off the fairway. So normally the flag is over beside where you can see the players gathered over there. So makes the hole play slightly differently. Probably opens up the hole for both left and right footers, I would say. Gives you the option really to really either go left or right on your approach into the pin. Anything to the right hand side as we look at it leaves the players with an uphill putt. So I think that would probably be the favoured option for me. I've seen a lot of players go left and use the camber here on the left hand side, which naturally feeds back into the pin, and use that to their advantage to get a little bit closer. But the danger, if you do that, is you can quite easily come a little bit longer, or the ball will feed a bit further off to the right hand side and leave you with that sort of similar uphill putt over there anyway. So most tee shots on here, you can see we've got Donny McKenzie just playing his second at the moment. He has started the ball off to the right hand side, and that is feeding in very nicely. And we'll give Donny a 15 to 18 foot uphill putt there for birdie. So but as I was saying, you can see most tee shots here tend to end up in that sort of zone right in the middle of the fairway. The fairway is quite generous, so if you do slightly mishit your shot, you chances are you're still going to end up on the fairway or in very light rough. So you've got, as we watch this coming in here from Nick Reynolds, I thought that had a chance. It just drifted off slightly at the very end. So Nick has got an easy tap in there for a 3. But yeah, anything off the tee on this hole, you slightly miscue, you're probably still in either the fairway or in the light rough on the right or the left hand side. So this hole, all about your second shot and how close you can get to the pin. So we watch the shot from Paul Morrissey. This also looks good, a bit pacey. So he's going to lead himself this side of the pin. He's going to have a downhill putt. I think we've already seen a putt from here. There are a couple of cambers. The start of the putt goes left to right, and then, sorry, right to left, and then starts to feed back left to right. So that'll be a tough one for Paul. We've got Donny McKenzie here for birdie. Donny straight at the pin and in. Very nice. Paul saying that Donny has been solid throughout his round, so expecting a good score here from Donny. Paul Morrissey went aggressive there, took the break out of the putt, and a very nice birdie as well. Well done, guys. How'd you get on? Yep. How'd you finish? 5 under. Very nice.
Excellent, mate.
So Donny just confirming there that Scotland have made it 5 out of 5. So Scotland have extended their lead again onto 15 points. Donny finished on 6 under for the round. That's an excellent score in the conditions. So we're just starting to get a little bit of rain here. Not expecting a lot here today, so it shouldn't markedly change how the course is playing. Carol Ann Cameron, hello to you too. And thank you for your wishes for the Scotland team. I will catch up with Stevie as the day goes on and pass on your good wishes. So just watching the tee shots from the next group. So we have Colin Murray, Paul Bolton and Steve Grant. Colin Murray's tee shot there has gone off to the left-hand side as we look at it, and left himself in a pretty good position there, I think. Probably a bit tougher for his right foot. I just wonder if he might actually play that with the left. So we have Paul Bolton on the tee. So Paul has pulled that a little bit to the right-hand side. Again, as I sort of said earlier, anything that sort of pulled slightly left or right, we've seen Colin go left and Paul go a little bit to the right. Paul's ball is also sat up quite well there in the rough, so I think you really have to shank or hook your shot here to put yourself in a bit of danger. It's all about the second shot in this hole. Richard, yeah, so apologies for that last group. The current scores prior to that group finishing were Scotland on 12 points, Wales on 7, England on 7 and Wales on 5. Donny won that group, so that takes Scotland to 15. I will get an update on how the English and the Welsh lads finished, and I can make sure that we will get scores from all 3 countries as the groups come in. Daryl, hello buddy, hope you're well. Nice to see you last week, and well, a well-deserved win for you guys, and the pairs, excellent performances there, and well done taking the points home. So we see the approach shot there from Steve Grant. Left it a little bit short, off to the left-hand side. It will be Paul Bolton up next. Paul has also gone left. I think Paul had quite a tricky stance there. It looked like he couldn't get a lot of room for a run up to that shot, so it's pretty much almost like a hazard kick, I think, for Paul. So, Colin Murray, second shot. It's gone with the right. Looks like it's got a nice line on it. Is that going to just hold that line and feed in towards the pin? This could be really, really good. That is an excellent shot there from Colin. He's left himself a couple of feet tap in there for birdie. And Colin taps in there for a 3. Excellent birdie there from Colin Murray. So Paul Bolton hoping to use the camber off the fairway there. The ball didn't really turn at all. I think it probably needed an extra 20% on that. So Steve Grant. Steve will have had the benefit here. He'll have seen the weight and the line from Paul Bolton's shot. He'll need to give it a little bit more than that. I think he'll likely go for a very similar line. There's a heavy left to right turn as we look at it here. He's gone a lot more direct. Yeah, and you just see that ball turn off to the right hand side there. The weight was excellent there from Steve. And he will tap in there for a par.
Paul, always a pleasure. Oh, did I finish? Oh, why? Beg your pardon. Polly.
Paul Bolton taps in there for a 4. And you can just see Sarah in the background there. So Sarah, part of the reason we are supporting the Brainstrust Cup today. So Brainstrust, a very important charity to all 3 associations in Scotland, England, and Wales. They do a lot of work for people that are diagnosed with brain cancer or melanoma, and both for the person diagnosed and their families as well. So we've got a little video here. Yeah, so as I say, football in Scotland, England and Wales, it's been associated with the incredible charity Brainstrust for some time, and we're delighted to be able to continue this tradition in recognition of all the incredible work that Brainstrust do. They're a UK-based charity, and they provide personalised support to people with brain tumours and their loved ones. So part of what we're doing over this weekend is trying to raise some money for Brainstrust. So we do have a Just Giving page, and you'll find the link to that on our Facebook page and across the other associations' Facebook pages as well. We're also running a raffle over the course of the weekend as well to raise money there as well. But if you do want to help out and donate to the incredible work that these guys do, then please go on our Facebook page, and yeah, any donation you can give these guys will help people like Sarah in the future. So we see the approach shot here from Ray Walker. Next group to come in, so that's a very good shot from Ray. This group here, we have David McDonald, Ray Walker and Bledon Jones. So it'll be Bledon to play his birdie putt first. Start that ball off to the left. This looks good. That is going to drop. Excellent shot there from Bledon. David McDonald confident there, knocked that in for a birdie. So Ray very confidently knocks that in for a birdie as well. How'd you guys get on? How'd you guys get on? Right. I believe very tight in this group, so could have well went right to the wire. Layla Lee, is there a link for live scores? Because of the format that we've got today, there isn't, but what we do have is we've got some result reveals that will be shown on our Facebook page as results come in. So I believe the Facebook page will be getting updated as we speak, and we've got quite a nice new format for revealing the results, so be sure to check that out. I will get the scores where I can from the guys when they're coming in. As I say, the group that I've just finished, they are extremely tight, so we will just go over and see how they have been getting on. And we are here with Sam McGoldrick, the Scottish junior, who I believe had an excellent round today. Tell us about your round, Sam. 9 under, fantastic. How did you find the course today?
I loved it. Everything was just low smashes, low, just in the wind.
Yep, playing sensible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't bowl you a hole. Everything was just pars and then take the birdie when it came.
Excellent. And what's your tactics for this afternoon and tomorrow?
Well, Fraser's booming everything at next, so let him do the hard work and I'll just do the pot.
Excellent. Good stuff, Sam. Good to see you bring the points home for Scotland, and we'll catch up with you as the day goes on.
Cheers, thanks, Gary.
Okay, cheers.
That's how they leave us. So like you see it.
So we're just waiting here for the calculator to do its magic. Yeah, so the format we've got today, there are 22 groups out on the course, 6 points available per group, so 132 points in total available today. 3 points for the winner of each group, 2 points for second place, and a point for third for each country. So we take the points from each group and add them up per country, and we'll be getting a table ready for you after round 1. Currently Scotland leading, having won all 5 groups that have come in so far, I believe. Wales and England are very close together at the moment, so interesting to see what happens here. Looks like scores have been calculated with
first and joint second at the moment, so we don't know what the count back situation is. So David won. Get me in right.
So I think count back, there is no count back, so effectively if you're tied you share the points, so you'll get 1.5 each. Yeah. So scores in that group, David McDonald won the match, so he's taken the 3 points for Scotland, and it was a tie between Ray and Bledden. So what happens there is we don't have any count back today for round 1, so the points are shared, so England and Wales will each receive 1.5 points for that one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head up the course, and we'll have a look at some of the other holes. We've obviously seen hole 1 and 18, and we'll take you up to 17 because it's quite an interesting hole, a very difficult tee shot, with a couple of options in terms of what you do there. You can either go aggressive and try to get up the hill, or you can play safe and clear the hill in your second shot. So approaching the green is also quite tricky. There's a quite a bit heavy left to right camber on your approach, and the green is pretty rapid as well. So we'll just head up there and catch a couple of groups as they're making their way through there. But yeah, the format of the Brainstrust Cup, round 1, it's individual stroke play. You're playing within your group. For first place, take home the 3 points for your country. Second place, 2 points, and third place, a point. The second round this afternoon, we have pairs foursomes, so that will be alternate shot. Those matches have already been pre-selected, and if you go onto our Facebook page, you'll be able to see who's teeing off together and when. Those groups start at 3:30 today, so we've got quite a quick turnaround today. The format for the pairs foursomes this afternoon is almost exactly the same as round 1. You're playing for first place within your group, so you can take home 3 points for your country. Second place, 2 points, and third place, a point. And we're just now behind the 17th pin. You can see one ball has made it up, and I think I saw the other one just catch the rough before the top of the hill. So I believe this is the group with Gio Stewart, Andy Sparks and Chris Blundell. For those of you with an eagle eye, you might be able to spot Gio's mum, Eleanor, in the distance there, just to the right-hand side. She's been keeping Gio right all day. That's all mums do. So you can see there, Gio's tee shot was an absolute monster. It's come right up, bang centre of the fairway there. So he's given himself an ideal line into the pin. As we get ready to watch the second shot from Andy Sparks. Andy's just passed that one out. That's an excellent shot. It's a very nice shot from there. The line, you're almost playing it blind from the position he was at. And the camber on the green here, from where Andy's ball is to the pin, everything's sort of feeding in that direction. So I think a little bit more on that. That could have ended up very, very close. I think he'll be delighted nonetheless. So Chris Blundell for Wales. Starts the ball off directly at the pin. It will feed to the left-hand side. It's given himself a really good look at birdie there. So Gio Stewart, this will be his second. So this will be for eagle. Needs to start the ball off to the right-hand side, and he does. Line looks good. He's got the weight to pull it in. Just needed a little bit more. Very good effort there. So Gio taps in there for a birdie. So Chris Blundell knocks in there for a birdie. Birdie, Chris?
Yeah.
Yep. And Andy Sparks in there as well for 3. Yeah, not bad, you. So we have Richard Griffiths, the 7th, and he says, Barney, beast of a man, Blundell. I think that's quite an accurate description. Guy looks like an absolute rock.
Thanks, guys.
So what we're going to do, we're at this kind of weird intersection between holes 17 and 18. So actually, just turning the camera back around, those are the guys there teeing on 18. The 17th green is there, and the 17th tee is all the way back down there. So players are teeing off over the track, up over the golf green, up over this patch of heavy rough, and you really need to absolutely boom it to get up here. We saw Gio end up roughly round about here and gave himself a pretty much direct line into the pin there. But you absolutely need to smack it to be able to get up there. And we can see we've got the 2 balls on the camera there, and both have sort of sat in either the heavy rough or the lighter rough there. And I think we have Daniel Wallbanks there over in the heavy rough on the left-hand side.
Shot, mate.
Sorry, mate. So current scores from this group after 16, currently playing 17. We've got Rory Cassidy on 9 under for Scotland, Paul Lloyd on 6 under for Wales, and Daniel Wallbanks on 2 under for England. So Rory has gone off to the right-hand side. So definitely advantage to England and Wales here. So Rory has gone aggressive. Missed on the right edge. Ball is nestled in the rough at the back of the green. So Dan Wallbanks, line looks good here. Just fed off to the right-hand side. So Dan taps in there for a 4. Will be Rory to go next. So this will be Rory's 4th. So this is for par. That has got a chance. Very nice. Rory, from where he was after his 3rd and 4th shot, he's managed to save par there. So Paul also taking a 4 there. So 4s all round scores as they were. 9 under for Rory, 6 under for Paul, and 2 under for Dan heading into the last. I'll just bring this comment back up again from Layla. Lee, is there a link for live scores? So I believe the live scores are starting to feed through in terms of results on our Facebook page. So if you check that out, you will be able to see the current standings for the countries as a whole and individual results per group. So Rory cast the tee on 18 and he's absolutely smacked that.
Love that cat.
That's an excellent tee shot, that. Right down the middle of the fairway, and he's got some weight behind it as well, so ideal line in for an approach to the pin. Next up, we have Paul Lloyd. He's also given that some. Just running up beside Rory's ball. Dan Waltbanks has absolutely melted that. I think it's probably going to be the longest drive on tour if it doesn't hit that ball, and unfortunately it has. So all 3 players there are pretty close to each other, so I think what we'll do is we'll just follow this group up to 18.
Albatross's chances, boys. Did it? I never noticed. Only a little bit. Is that hit?
So you can see we've got all 3 balls pretty close together, pin tucked mid way on the right hand side. Everything sort of feeds up and towards the right hand side. Will be Rory to go first. He's gone fairly safe, I would say. Just passed that ball, kept it on the fairway, left himself below the pin, giving himself a fairly straightforward uphill putt for birdie. So Dan Mulbank's gone at a completely different line there from Rory. He's started the ball out to the right-hand side, I think, hoping to use the camber there on the right-hand side, which naturally feeds back into the pin. The ball just didn't really turn at all. And Paul Lloyd really attacked the pin there. Really attacked the pin, and unfortunately he's gone quite long, so that is a very tough putt from where he is. He's downhill against a couple of different cambers there. Yeah, so not easy, that one at all. I think the sensible play on this hole, we've seen Rory Cassidy just pass the ball to the left-hand side of the pin and leave himself a very straightforward uphill putt for 3. If you want a guaranteed birdie on this hole, I think Rory's is the way to do it, although we have just seen Dan hole it there from the rough on the right-hand side. Tough putt though. So Paul Lloyd, very difficult putt, very unlucky. And Paul will knock in there for a 4. So Rory, that is a quality putt, that one. So Rory takes a 3. So Rory takes the 3 points there for Scotland. Paul takes the 2 for Wales, and Dan Mulbanks takes the 1 for England. So what we'll do is we'll just get a wee update on the overall leaderboard and how that's looking, Leslie. Hopefully see you very, very soon. How are we getting on, lads? No, it's all right. So, Leslie, current scores are Scotland 20.5 at the moment, England 18, and Wales 13.5. So Scotland starting to open up a little bit of a gap. But there's plenty of foot golf still to be played in this first round, never mind the foot golf that we will see in the second round, where we'll have exactly the same number of points available in round 2 as we've got in round 1. So those scores could change quite easily. And you'll probably have seen a lot of the players today kitted out in their respective strips. There is a Scotland shop if you fancy buying your kit from us. We've got a mix of different clothing items, and we'll just show you a few right now. Yeah, so jacket, mid-layer and polo there, all can be purchased on our Scotland shop, which you can access via our Facebook page or by getting in touch with one of the members of the board. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make our way down to hole 16. So the wind, just as we headed round the corner there, is incredible. So I think where we were up in 17 and 18 was actually quite a sheltered part of the course. This area much more exposed to the elements, and what is probably an already quite tough hole, playing with this wind behind you will become a lot more difficult. We're just watching David Quigley here. David knocks that in. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, dude.
So in the group we've just seen, I believe it is very, very close between David Quigley and Jason Parkinson, both around -11 or -12, and Adam Harvey-Davis a little bit further back on -6. All three players scoring excellently, I would say, on the course today. So that match between Quigley and Parkinson could well go right to the wire. So as I say, be sure to check our Facebook page and you will see the results coming through. I know that they only have the Scotland players in terms of whether it's a win for Scotland or not. What we'll do is we'll try and keep you updated in addition to that on our Facebook page and via the live stream here as well. What we've got next is we've got the group involving Fraser Weir, Kane Kaupinen and Wayne Greenshields. So it'll be, I think, Kane probably to go first. Kane has gone off to the left-hand side, so he's gone down the hill. So watch actually, shot there from Wayne. Tough on that. So this hole is protected by light rough on both the right-hand side and south of the pin. So very difficult green to actually access, and then when you do, the ball will run heavily downhill from right to left as we look at it. So where Kane is at the moment isn't actually that bad a place to be because he's playing basically uphill. He can attack this pin. He's kicked that one a little bit left. And that has left a very tricky putt because Kane will now be playing a shot across the rough, across the green, and a heavy right to left camber. So we've got Fraser Weir in a little bit of bother here. So Fraser's first shot had obviously gone into the heavier rough on the right-hand side there. He's done well to poke that out. The advantage on this hole now is we do have this strip of rough. You saw that hole one earlier today that the guys here at Cluny have developed the holes to make them a little bit less dangerous, I would say. So this strip of rough actually will stop any ball that starts to feed down from the pin. Otherwise, what was happening before is the ball would just roll right down to where we saw Kane just a few seconds ago. So Fraser, this looks good. Is that going to come back? That has sat right on the edge of the hole. Wayne Greenshields, that is an absolutely fantastic effort. What a shot! The weight on that shot had to be absolutely spot on. That's an excellent putt. How are you guys getting on?
Just remember that.
So believe in the group we've just seen, Fraser and Kane are very close again. So another match that might go right to the wire. I wonder after that putt from Wayne, I just wonder where that puts him, because that's one of the best putts I think we've seen all day, and we've seen some absolute crackers. So Stevie Cameron. Stevie, this being his home course, in terms of closest location. So Stevie knows this course just about as well as anyone. Seen all three balls here from the tee head left or down the hill, and leave all three with an uphill putt. So you can, I don't know if the camera quite does it justice. There's quite a gradient to get up there, so you really need to give it a bit. The advantage, as I say, is anything that you maybe do slightly under hit, it is going to stop in that first strip of rough there, so it's not going to come all the way back. So you can afford to attack the pin from here. It plays as a par 4, so tee box up there. On the top of the hill, everything runs left to right as players will look at it, and very difficult to get your ball really anywhere apart from down here. You really need to give it a good whip with the right foot, but then you run the risk that, well, we saw where Fraser was a few minutes ago. He was in the thick stuff on the left hand side. So it'll be Gareth Davies to go first. He's to start the ball out to the left. The ball's just going to feed over to the right hand side. And it will be Stevie Cameron to go next. Steve has given that quite a whack. It's on the left hand side of the pin. I think the ball will stop there. He's left himself a little bit of danger, I think, there. And that is not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination, I think. Fraught with danger up there. That's also gone out right. So I think what we've seen is it's actually quite difficult to judge the right line from down here. I think the ball does, in the camber of the fairway, does feed left to right. So for me, I think start the ball out a little bit to the left. Very nice. So Stevie Cameron giving himself quite a bit to do here. Just waiting for the wind to settle a little bit. And he knocks that straight in. That was a tough one. So I believe there is one shot between this group. So what we're going to do is we are going to follow this group through 17 and 18. One shot between all three players. So I think we'll just watch them as they tee off on 17 and we'll take it from there. So hole 17, as I say, par 4. So tee boxes over here. So they've been brought back from where they normally are on the social tees, which is just up here. Tee box over here, you're playing up this hill, and you can see there we've got Adam Harvey-Davis. He's played his tee shot to get up there, and then a second shot to get over the rough. And it's a tough par 4. It's a long par 4 because if you can't clear the hill in one, your second shot you're playing completely blind, and the fairway and approach into the green is quite tight as well, so it's very difficult to actually get your ball to anywhere near the pin and keep it on the fairway. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I've seen Gio get up and that's been about it. It's difficult because you've got the crosswind. A lot of players have ended up in that rough area, right at the top, the longer stuff.
Why didn't they this back? Yesterday practice was up there.
Was it?
Practice was that side of the road then.
Here we go. Yes.
So tee shot there, right footed. That's whipped quite a bit into the rough on the left hand side. I think that looks like it's sat up quite well. So I'll give him a good lie for his second shot. And that is a cracking shot there from Gareth Davies. Very difficult to get up there in one. So Stevie has gone for that, and I think he will be fine. I think that ball will sit up there. Very good. Saw two excellent tee shots there. Stevie Cameron and Gareth Davies both getting himself up there, and I think Ryan Purcell has also given himself well, the ball is sat up quite well, so all three players have got a fairly decent chance of getting their second shot close to the pin and taking a birdie.
on, Chris. Yeah, yeah.
So Ryan Purcell, second shot. That looks like it is going to whip round and it's not quite stayed on the green. I think it's just gone off to the rough on the right hand side there. You can see we've got the pin just tucked in here. So protected by rough on both the left and the right side. So Stevie Cameron to go next. So Stevie has passed that. I think he's pulled it just a little bit to the left. Gareth Davies, who left himself the best line into the pin there. So he's been able to attack that and he's gone for it. It's just going to miss on the right hand edge, but he's given himself a tap in birdie. So Gareth taps in, takes a 3. So Stevie Cameron starts ball out to the left. Is that going to feed right? Just gone a little bit long. Ball does turn left to right. Just needs to take a little bit off that. And Ryan has just gone slightly off to the right hand side of the cup there. So he'll have a tap in for par. So Gareth is looking like he's coming out of this hole looking pretty good for the 18th. Stevie, I think, needs to hold this, and he has. So 3 and 2 fours as we head on to 18. Darryl Grover, good to hear from you, mate. Lovely to meet you last week as well. And you're right, it is a great day for it. It's a little bit blustery, but other than that, it's fairly dry, and the course is playing in good shape. So what we'll do here is we'll just go behind the players so you can see the tee shot that they face. Gareth Davies with the left foot. Is it going to get over that rough? That's just going to feed out quite nicely there onto the fairway. Ryan Purcell, he's put a lot of whip on that. That is a great tee shot, tremendous. Straight down the middle of the fairway. Pressure on Stephen Cameron. And Stevie has boomed that one right down the middle as well. Is that just going to nip past that ball on the left-hand side? It did. 3 very good tee shots there. And it looks like slight advantage to Gareth. taking a 3 on 17. He's maybe in the driving seat now. Hello, Michaela. Hope you are well. I believe you played very well recently. Had a very nice under par round a couple of days ago. And I will try and catch up with Laura Thompson and Carolyn Kent, Sarah White, as soon as we can. I believe the ladies finished with 2 wins to Scotland, and I think 2 second places for England and 2 third places for Wales. If you do get the chance, Michaela, check out our first live stream from today. The ladies are up quite early on in that, and the approach play and putting, it was almost out of this world, I have to say. A couple of eagles and a couple of birdies as well, so standard was incredibly high. So Stevie Cameron's second shot lined, looked good there. It just took a slight bobble off to the right hand side. I think that was quite unfortunate actually. Looked like it was going direct at the pin. Stevie just saying that as well. It just kicked off to the right hand side. The line looked excellent up until that point. So Ryan Purcell also started the ball out to the right hand side. And I think this is catching quite a few players out. It looks like it turns right to left quite heavily, and I don't think the ball is really feeding back in at all until the speed really drops out the ball. So you've seen both Stevie there and Ryan leaving themselves on the right hand side of the pin, slightly higher than the pin as well. So that's quite a tough downhill putt for both of them. So Gareth Davies, excellent putt there. Takes a 3. Finished in remarkable form. 3 on 17, a 3 on 18. Ryan Purcell has gone off to the right hand side. So I just wonder, has that putt from Gareth taken, I think, the first 3 points for England? So Stephen Cameron, pressure putt, and he sinks it. Excellent play there from the guys on the last hole, a couple of holes in particular. Just doing a wee interview.
No,
No, it's already on. No, you can't go now.
Yes. Is it still playing?
And we're joined with Laura Thompson, one of our Scottish ladies. Tell us how you got on today, Laura.
Yeah, I did quite well. Finished +2. We ran been on the par obviously, but the wind's playing quite difficult today. So.
Yeah, and you obviously practiced yesterday, and the wind was quite difficult as well. Do you find that helped?
No.
No.
The wind was a lot stronger yesterday, so it was a lot difficult. But could be better, could be worse.
Excellent. And your thoughts for round 2 this afternoon? How are you feeling about the pairs?
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll do well.
Excellent. Well played, Laura. Look forward to seeing you in round 2. See, you were fine. You were. Yeah. So, so we'll just get an update on the scores before we cut the feed. How are we getting on overall?
Scotland 46.5, England 29, Wales 20.5.
Okay, so current scores as we stand are Scotland 46.5, England 29, and Wales 20.5. So Scotland got a little bit of a lead at the moment in round 1. We will stop here for now, and we will join you back in a few minutes for the conclusion of round 1. See you shortly.